Hello, Aggies, and welcome back to our fourth episode of Behind the Horns. I'm Sports Information Director Max Mans here with my colleague Amanda Graham, and we are excited to introduce our next guest. He serves as Delaware Valley men's lacrosse starting goalie. Please welcome senior Jim Murphy to the podcast.
How are you guys doing? Thank you for having me.
Thank you for coming. We appreciate it. So to get us started, tell us a little bit about yourself. We mentioned that you're a senior here at Del Val. What is it that you're studying?
I'm currently studying criminal justice. I came into Del Val as a sports management major, but my dad being a police officer and everything, I felt that it was I was more interested in criminal justice and all that, so I decided to switch my major.
Sure. So you're originally from Rutland, Massachusetts. How did you hear about Del Val, and what really factored in your decision to coming here?
So I played summer lacrosse for my whole time as a high school student, and I got recruited by them a couple of times. Came down, stayed with my sister in Philadelphia, went to a tour on the school, and I fell in love with it.
Did your sister move to Philly a while ago? Did she come to school in the Philly area and just kind of like never left?
So she went to her sinus, and she got engaged to someone at her sinus, so they decided to move to Philly. She was like a psychologist for a while at a elementary school. So, yeah, I stayed in her apartment and came and toured.
It's interesting.
You said you switched majors. So what was like the main factor to draw you here for your education, and then what? I know you touched on your dad, but was there anything specific that you wanted to do with that major?
Well, when I first came here, I heard they had a great sports management program. They also had a good criminal justice program. They had a new head and everything of the department. So, I was talking with my dad before, after my first semester, and I was like, I'm not really interested in what I'm doing. He was like, well, what are you interested in? And I said I was interested in a lot of stuff that he used to do. So he just said, maybe you should decide to switch your major. So I did, and I fell in love with it ever since. It's been a great time taking criminal justice classes here, and it's been great.
I think if you're learning something you like, you're naturally going to have more of a vested interest and tend to do better and have a better time. Yeah, if you want to pay attention to what they're teaching you, right?
Of course.
So what has been the hardest part about going to school a little further away? You said that your sister's kind of local, so it was nice to have her. Is there something about Massachusetts that you miss the most? And on the contrary, is there something about Pennsylvania that you like?
For sure. In Massachusetts, I definitely miss being close to the beach. There was always Cape Cod, drive like an hour, get to the beach. Here you're more inland. But I do like Pennsylvania a lot. I lived here originally when I was really young, too young to remember. And then we moved back here a couple of years ago when I first started coming here. And yeah, it's been great in Pennsylvania.
So it's nice you have family, nearby.
Yes, nearby, about like an hour and a half away. So it's good.
Close, but not too close.
Close, but not too close, yeah.
Now, to get into some lacrosse, how did you first started playing, and what was your decision to take that to the next level of playing in college?
So throughout my life, I played two main sports, which were hockey and lacrosse. I love both of them. They're both kind of intertwined with each other. The same conditioning, same type of fast hands, all that. And then playing lacrosse in the summer, it kind of took off more than hockey. So I just decided, hey, I like it a lot more, and it's doing good for me. So why can't I use that to get into a good college?
Did you play in the net and at hockey too?
No, I did not. I played defense in hockey, but my brother played in net for hockey. So.
Okay. Do you prefer being goalie in lacrosse or playing more of like a field or ice position?
I like playing goalie better, even though it's a little more stressful. I like it.
So is there one memory that you have of playing lacrosse growing up that kind of stands out the most to you, whether it was, a game won or just a fun moment with like your team?
Definitely. There are two that stand out to me the most. One, when I first started becoming goalie, I was like 9 or 10 years old. The coach was asking us, we need a volunteer to play goalie. So I was the one kid that volunteered, and I stuck with it ever since. And then when I was here, my freshman year, we won a game in overtime. It was my first overtime game as a college athlete, and it was great. It was a great experience.
I feel like that always happens with goalies. That happened with my brother in soccer. He was not a goalie.
Yeah.
It's always, someone volunteer to do this, and that's how you find your goalie. My nephew is currently playing street hockey, and it was like the same thing. He's 9, and they were like, we need a goalie, and he didn't want to run. That's why he wanted to be the goalie. I was like, it's interesting how people no one ever goes into it, I feel like, being like, I want to be the goalie. It's always that scenario.
Picked, yeah.
Moving into your time here at Del Val, you started 40 of 43 games. You played in net over the past 4 seasons. How have you grown a little as an athlete over those 4 years, and what are some differences you've seen yourself from your freshman year to now?
I think being in this program, I've grown as an athlete. I've become way more conditioned, way more athletic in general. I feel as if it's helped me more as a person too, with managing my time better and learning discipline and leadership in a team environment. It's definitely helped a lot.
So, next thing we want to kind of get into is the key part of student athlete is the student. And you mentioned some things that you learn as an athlete that I think translate over into, like you said, real life and also the classroom. You talked about how you switched majors already. So how have you kind of navigated being a student while also being an athlete and kind of juggling those demands of both?
It was definitely tough at first. It was brand new to me, juggling being a student athlete, going to class on time, getting to practice on time. But I think over the years, I've definitely learned how to manage everything well, doing my homework in a timely manner before practice, before games, getting to class on time, scheduling my classes around practice and lacrosse. So I think it's definitely helped me a lot, and it's going to help me a lot in life.
Preparation.
Yes.
Yeah. Is there one thing you would say to like incoming students on how to balance those two?
Definitely the most important thing, I think, is time management. Learning how to deal with the stresses of school as well as the stresses of being being an athlete. It's definitely tough at first, but everyone makes it through, and eventually you find a way to manage your classes, your schedule, and all that on your own.
So you told us about a favorite memory of your time as an Aggie on the field, that overtime game. Has there been a memory kind of with your teammates off the field that you will kind of cherish and take past your time in college?
Definitely. So spring break, we usually don't go anywhere. We usually stay around here. So one year we decided to play Nerf in South. So that was definitely a very good memory. It was a lot of us playing, and it was a lot of fun.
That's awesome. I want to do that. I've seen those TikTok videos where you come home and there's like a Nerf gun and a note, and it's like, I'm hiding in the house somewhere. Like, come find me.
I always see the couple that has those balloons everywhere and they splatter all over.
I just think about who's cleaning that up. Maybe it's like the female in me that's like, I need to be clean and organized, but who is cleaning that up?
She definitely makes
It's not worth the joke. It's so not worth the joke, in my opinion.
All right, finally, do you have any plans for after graduation?
For sure. My goal is to become somewhat involved in law enforcement, whether that's a local officer or a state trooper. I've taken the state trooper exam, so we're going to see the results on that, see if I get in or not. And if that doesn't work out, I have plenty of other options I'd like to pursue in case.
Is there any, lacrosse in your future? You want to keep that part of your life?
Definitely. I want to coach somehow, whether it's really young kids, a club team, or even if it is college or high school. I would like to keep coaching, be around the game, still playing too, men's league, stuff like that.
Yeah.
That'd be fun. All right, so before we let you go, we do have some final questions that we like to ask our guests at the end of every interview. So they're kind of rapid fire. We're going to run through them quick, and you just give us the first answer that kind of comes to mind, all right? All right, so what's your go-to pregame meal?
Definitely Dunkin'.
What from Dunkin'? Coffee?
Usually coffee and bacon, egg, and cheese wake-up wrap.
All right. I could not drink coffee before playing a sport, for the record. Guilty pleasure show or movie?
I'm watching this new one right now. It's called The Gentleman. It's really good.
Yeah, I have a Fire TV, and it keeps popping up on the ad every time.
It's very good. You should look into it.
So you kind of answered this. You're currently binge watching that?
Yes.
That and that alone, or are you someone that has two binge watching shows at the same time?
If you could go back.
I go back and forth.
I watch that, and sometimes I go back on Breaking Bad or Better Call Saul. Those are really good shows.
I've never seen Breaking Bad all the way through. No one come for me.
I
need
a
to.
Single episode.
Oh, okay. So it's not just me. Okay. So if you were in a talent show, what would you do?
I think juggling. I think I'm pretty good at juggling. Being a goalie, some of the drills we do are juggling, so maybe I'd be good at it. I haven't tried it with 3 balls yet, so.
Follow-up video coming soon on that. Follow our Instagram. We're gonna catch you doing that. Favorite sport outside of lacrosse to watch, and what team is your favorite?
Football, and I'm going to get a lot of hate for this, but I am a Patriots fan, being from
All
Massachusetts.
right, well, that's going to wrap it up.
It's okay. My college roommate was a Patriots fan when the Eagles and the Patriots played against each other, and we had a house split. We had an Eagle side and a Patriot side, and she genuinely didn't talk to me for 3 days. I have it on video. She was ignoring me. I was trying to talk to her, so it's fine. I'll allow it. An athlete you look up to, probably on the Patriots.
Obviously Tom Brady, but
The GOAT.
just his work ethic, and on Kobe Bryant too, with his whole Mamba mentality, having that mentality to do, what's best for you, and just the constant grind that they're always on.
It's good Kobe's a good one. If you could go to any sporting event, past or present, what would it be?
Definitely a hockey game. Probably a Bruins game. Obviously, Bruins fan. I was in Massachusetts, so
All right.
It was a lot of fun. Hockey games are a great experience if you've never been.
All right. And then what's your hobby?
Watching sports. I watch a lot of sports, and I keep up on stats like that. It's something I've been doing for a while.
We can relate.
Preaching to the choir.
Yeah.
All right, well, Jim, thank you so much for joining us today, and good luck on the rest of the season and semester.
Thank you guys again for having me.
Thank you. Well, that's all we have for today, Aggies. Thank you for tuning in. Episodes of Behind the Horns will be released monthly on Spotify and YouTube, so be sure to like and subscribe so you don't miss any of the action.